And you know Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor is going to be one of the greatest fights ever, right? But I'll say this, the reason why I think Jose Aldo is on a 18-fight winning streak is because when he hasn't lost since 2005, right? His skill set was so above other fighters, and I don't think his skill set is above Conor's as of 2015 fighters. Look at somebody like Chuck Liddell dominating in his time, and look at John Jones in his prime. There's a total difference. Chuck Liddell had great wrestling and a knockout right hand. And you look at somebody like John Jones, for example. Why is he so dominant? He has crazy kicks, knees, elbows, great wrestling, good ground and pound, and it's just all-around fighter. And you look at somebody like Jose, I don't think he throws a lot of crazy stuff like a lot of new fighters do, and that's working for a lot of guys. You got to be very crazy. Press conference with Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor, and me personally, still to this day, I think Conor McGregor has the ability to beat Jose Aldo. Jose, in this press conference, basically says, well, it's not it's an MMA fight. It's not a boxing match. It's not a kickboxing match. It's a MMA fight. When was the last time you've seen Jose Aldo really take someone down and submit him? I haven't seen that in a long time. We haven't seen Conor McGregor really be taken down. So that is one thing that I think of in this fight. They're both great fighters. They're both tremendous athletes. I'm going for Conor McGregor. That's just the dude I represent. He's a really well-rounded fighter. He shows he can knock your ass out. He talks the talk and he backs it up. Yes, maybe he talked his way into a title fight, and maybe it should be Frankie Edgar versus him, but Frankie Edgar versus Conor McGregor would be a great fight. Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo is going to be a bigger fight because he talks the talk and backs it up. He says he's going to knock out Jose Aldo. That's possible because look at it this way. Everybody thought Renan Barão was going to beat up TJ Dillashaw. Is that who it is? TJ Dillashaw? TJ? Whatever his name is. I don't know. Piece of garbage. TJ, they thought he was going to beat him up, walk through him, and it's because these guys are on unbelievable winning streaks. Once you're on like a 14, 15, 16, 18 fight winning streak, you can end up not training as hard as you think you are. GSP said it once. He had to take the loss against Matt Serra to prove to himself that he is the fighter he wants to be. And he went in there in the second fight against Matt Serra and annihilated him, knocked it out of the park, beat that dude down. And I think that's the way this fight's going to go with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is a dude who does talk a lot, but he said this from day one. I'm going to beat this dude's ass in the first round. He beat that dude's ass in the first round. I'm going to beat this ass in the second round. He beats that dude's ass in the second round. Will he be able to take the leg kicks that Jose gives? I don't know, man, but you got to look at it this way. Conor McGregor is going to keep coming forward, and he has very elusive style. He does a lot of spinning leg kick, like spinning kicks, a lot of crazy. He stands kind of like this when he fights. He does a lot of crazy stuff that normally you don't see in an MMA fighter unless you're like John Jones or you're some very high-level athlete. And I think this is going to be either the toughest fight for Jose, where he does still win, maybe by going to the judges' scoring cards, but I see it being one of the best featherweight fights ever. And I think, my personal opinion, I really do think that Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor is going to be a hell of a fight. And I think Jose Aldo is going to lose because he's never been pushed to that breaking point. Chad Mendes was his toughest opponent, and I think Conor could do a lot more than what this dude offers. So it is what it is, man. I really think Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor is going to be a hell of a fight, one of the best fights ever, and I really don't know what to say unless Jose can get it to the ground. That's the only way I see this fight. When we don't know what Conor's defense is on the ground. We don't know if he can get out of submissions, get down from wrestlers. All we know is he likes to stand and bang. It's kind of like Anderson Silva. He's a great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but the dude doesn't like to go to the ground that often. Even though he can, he likes to stand and bang. And standing and banging and knock your opponent out is more devastating, I think, than actually submitting somebody. And I think Conor McGregor is going to knock out Jose Aldo in the 3rd round. That's just my honest opinion. I think Jose is a tough son of a bitch who can take an ass whooping, but he throws devastating leg kicks. Look at Jose Aldo, what he did to Uriah Faber. Annihilated that dude. Beat Uriah Faber at the game of stand-up and just tore his leg up. He did the same thing to Frankie Edgar. And not saying Frankie Edgar and Uriah Faber are on the same level as Conor McGregor, but Conor McGregor has that like it factor, that confidence, that swag, that he's just coming off that he's so confident that he does remind me of Ronda Rousey. Like Ronda Rousey basically says like, I'm gonna just come in there and whip your ass, and she does. It's the same thing Fedor. Fedor really never talked. He just walked in the cage, beat your ass, and left. And that's the same thing Conor does, but Conor talks a lot. Conor says, I'm gonna beat your ass, and he does. Irish people like myself, if you're gonna fight us, we throw down and we don't back down. And Irish are known for drinking beers and fighting and just tearing shit up. So I think Conor McGregor has what it takes to beat this dude. I don't think anybody else in the weight class has the ability to beat Jose Aldo besides Conor. I think Conor has the skills. I think if it was Jose Aldo versus Frankie Edgar, I don't think the hype on this fight would be as what it is. And Conor McGregor just has that effect. Like I said, he talks a lot and he knows how to press your buttons. He's kind of like a Chael Sonnen, but more ruthless. He'll get up in your face, Conor out of his game, but it's going to be crazy because Conor comes forward and Jose comes forward. So we're going to see that it could be the same thing that happened. Like everybody's thinking, well, Dos Anjos, nobody thought Dos Anjos was going to beat Anthony Pettis as bad as he did. People thought, okay, it might be a 3-2 round or it might be a close decision. Nobody thought that Dos Anjos would dominate him for 5 rounds. It could come down to the same thing with Conor. He could dominate him for 5 rounds and win by a decision, and that's just the way it is. Conor is a southpaw, and Jose, I think, is a orthodox fighter and throws a lot of leg kicks, but you didn't see him throwing a lot of leg kicks against Chad Mendes, and Chad Mendes was his toughest opponent. And I think Jose Aldo versus Chad Mendes will be more dominant than Conor when Conor fights, because Chad Mendes is a small, stocky dude. Now, he's doing a lot more elusive, crazy shit. Spinning back fists, spinning back kicks, like spinning kicks, high kicks. He just does a lot of stuff that a lot of fighters aren't used to. So, if you guys got an opinion, let me know in the comment section below, because I know this video is long. But if you think Conor McGregor's going to win, break it down in the comment section why you think Conor's going to win. And if you think Jose Aldo's going to win, break it down why Jose Aldo's going to win, because I think both these fighters have a chance to win. It's going to be a great fight at UFC in July. I'm not sure what number it is, like what, UFC 88 or something like that, 188. But that's just a fight I've been pumped for. I think every time I see a fight with Conor, he brings that excitement back to MMA like Brock Lesnar used to do. Brock Lesnar used to bring exciting fights, even though Brock Lesnar wasn't the most exciting fighter or the most gifted fighter. He was just a wrestler that would ground and pound. He had something that when people said Brock Lesnar fight, everybody was like, dude, we're getting the pay-per-view, we're coming to your house, we're getting some beers, we're getting some pizza, we're having some beer and pizza and watch the fights. Just because this dude was so damn dominant. Beating Heath Herring, dominant, and Heath Herring had like almost 40 fights up to that time, dominated him. Heath Herring never hit him once. The same thing, he beat Frank Mir twice. He beat Randy Couture. And yes, Brock Lesnar did lose. Is this the same thing that's going to happen to Conor? That his hype is so good that when he gets to Jose's going to annihilate him, and Conor's going to look like, dude, you were talking all this trash, and what happened? So, it is what it is, man. I'll see you guys in the next video. Just want to shoot the shit with you guys and break it down and say why I thought Conor's going to win this fight. I'm not going to be surprised if Jose wins by devastating leg kicks and devastating knockout power, because he does have devastating knockout power, and he does have crazy knees out of nowhere. But I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off against somebody who is elusive as your boy, Conor. I'll see you guys in the next video. Irish Pride, baby. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.